Hey y'all, welcome back. Just got done with today's workout. Really long one, but the good news is when I was kind of looking at it and getting my strategy together, I thought the cardio aspect of this was going to be way harder than it was. So I don't want to lull you into a false sense of security and think a long workout like this has nothing to do with cardio, but this is more of a muscle fatigue management workout than it is this push the pace for cardio for a long time. So what we have is Bert. This is a benchmark hero workout. We've got 4 time, 50 burpees, 400 meter run, 100 push-ups, 400 meter run, 150 walking lunges, 400 meter run, 200 air squats, 400 meter run, then kind of back down, 150 walking lunges, run, 100 push-ups, run, 50 burpees again to finish it off. So we're going to throw in the classes, we're going to throw a 50 minute cap on this workout, and I feel like almost everybody is going to run up against that cap. I got under it by just a couple minutes. I think I was 47 and a half, something like that, on the workout. And I definitely could have gone a little faster, maybe, but I think this is just kind of one that's going to always make you feel like you could have gone a little faster because you have to be so conservative because it's all muscle fatigue management. And if you do it right, you'll probably feel like you could have gone faster. And if you do it wrong, you're going to get blown up hard. So let's kind of talk strategies here. First of all, it's pretty clear. It's a long one. A ton of reps. 200 push-ups, 300 lunges, 200 air squats. There's just so much volume in this workout. It's crazy big. So what we want you to consider is we can always bump everything down by 75%. We can always bump everything down by 50%. And if you're worried about bumping it down too much, I will say for everybody, if you do half of this workout and just push the pace on it, it's going to be an incredible workout. So one, you're not going to scale this one too much. Another thing you can do if you're a little unsure is you can do something like scale it in half, but almost make it like an AMRAP and say it's 50 minutes, you're scaling everything in half, and you're going to go through it once, and you're going to start to go through it again. And if you finish 2 rounds, which would be the full reps, just having it in 2 pieces, then that's cool. If you hit the 50-minute cap, that's cool too. So you can go just straight through, see what happens to the cap, but the real showstopper for people is probably going to be on those push-ups. So cutting those numbers down is probably going to be necessary for most people. We can also do bands and knees and stuff. So let's talk specific strategies. The first 50 burpees are really just about kind of setting the tone for the workout. I was worried and I kind of thought I was going to have to push the cardio pace the whole time, but you really have to break up and go slow on these other exercises that, to me, it didn't really feel like a cardio workout. I was out of breath, but it was a muscle fatigue workout. So if I were to go back, I don't know if I would have changed anything. I was really conservative on the burpees. I was worried about my pressing off of the ground, and I was really trying to use the arch and snap, and all I was thinking of when I was doing a burpee is use as little arm as possible, So I feel like a lot of people are going to get trapped and they're going to use a lot of arms on the burpees. And then when they get to the push-ups, their arms are already going to be shot. So I was thinking use as little arms as possible and control the cardio. And I almost think you can almost ignore the cardio. Just put that focus on use as little arm as possible in the burpee. When you go for the runs, something to consider is on the lunges and on the air squats. It's so much quad, it's a lot of adductor, it's a lot of butt, not a lot of hamstring. So today's a perfect day to kind of work on some running technique. We've got videos on this, but something we talk to people a lot about with running technique is you have to do a hamstring curl. So that's how we get our feet off the ground. We want to use your feet as springs, and how we pull that foot up under us is with that big old hamstring. And if you leave your foot on the ground too long and it trails too far behind, when you go to pull, it's going to be your tiny little hip flexor muscles. So a big running technique thing is going to be hamstring curl, those legs up every single time as you run, which is a great opportunity today because your quads, your legs are just going to be these cement blocks of this workout. It doesn't feel like that on the first couple runs because you haven't done anything legs. But as soon as you're done with those lunges, the run, the squats, the run, the lunges, the run, and then that last, it's like your legs are just blocked. So it's a great workout to focus on pulling with those hamstrings and getting those giant muscles involved, especially because that's a big muscle that's not going to get super involved in these other things anyway. Push-ups, it's about being really, really conservative. I did 3s this whole time and I did 2s this whole time. And my goal was, I was kind of thinking, it's like, maybe I'll do 5s. And then I was like, I'm just going to do 3s. And if I can pick up the pace later, I'm going to pick up the pace later. And I was super glad I did 3s. So just remember that. You can always come out conservative. And if you're wrong conservative, you can pick the pace up. But if you come out not conservative enough, you're going to blow up and you're going to spend so much more time on that section than you need to. The lunges, the squats, the lunges, I tried to just keep moving. So I was doing lunges inside, so I had these moments of stopping to turn around. So that kind of was a little bit of built-in rest, but with these things on the squats, I was giving it just a slight pause at the top, but in general on those, I was just thinking unbroken, and it wasn't really unbroken, but it was kind of, I'm not stopping for any reason, no matter what it feels like, because this is just one of those workouts where it's always going to feel bad. So if you stop and rest, it's going to help you a little bit, but when you start up, it's going to feel just as bad. So it's always going to feel terrible, and you got to just get them over with. So I always just try and keep moving, and I slow down and speed up my reps depending on how tired I am. But mentally, that helps me a lot. But this is a ton of legs. Your legs get blown up, and then you have to run with it. So it's just something to really mentally be prepared for. And then depending on how you're scaling it, we want you to do something where it's just steady, always muscle fatigue management. Then yada, 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 back to the push-ups. Like I said, I did 3s up here, 2s up here. So be even more conservative than in the first set. And then when you get to the 50 burpees, this is really where the workout is. You've done a lot. Your legs feel heavy. You've got no pressing left. But honestly, even though you've had elevated heart rate the whole time, you haven't really peaked out, or I hadn't peaked out my heart rate. So when I got to the burpees, it was just get to 5, get to 15. And as soon as when we're doing numbers up in this 50 range, I know once I get to 15, I know I'm kind of in the groove, and then it's just get to 25. And I know once I get to 30, I only have 20 more. And I know no matter what is going on, I can always do 20 burpees. So just mentally, I'm just trying to get the first 5 in, then I'm trying to get to the number 15, then I'm trying to get to 25. And once I'm there, I know once I get to 30, it's going to be good. So in that second half, I was really trying to push the pace. And so I tried to finish. And so the hardest cardio part of the workout was finishing for me those last 25 burpees, because it's kind of hard to get in the groove with the pressing and the legs gone. But in general, it's a long one. We're gonna have the 50-minute cap on this one. It's just try not to use the arms, and that's funny to say in burpees, but there is techniques that you can do that minimizes the arms. When you run, make sure you're focusing on that hamstring curl. Super conservative starting out with the push-ups. Make it a joke in the beginning. That's the only way people are gonna survive this one. Again, hamstrings on the run, walking lunges, just get into the groove. The further you step, the more kind of butt and hamstring you're going to use. The closer you step, the more quad you're going to use. Since air squats are real quad dominant, I recommend playing around with your steps, but maybe stepping out a little further. Hamstrings on the run. Air squats, just get into the groove, Same thing, blah, blah, blah. Push-ups, even more conservative than the first one. And then when you get to the burpees, it's just survive 5, get to 15, and then see if you can finish real strong in this one. Hope you enjoy it. I think it's a fun one. Good benchmark. Write down those scores. We'll repeat it again at some point. Talk to y'all soon.